What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Clocks Running, the podcast for everything flag football officials. I'm Ant.
And I'm out of breath. What's going on, everybody?
You did not have that. You only had 16 seconds, man. What did you have?
Oh, man, that was good.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, man. So, welcome back to the most magical place on earth here, Clocks Running.
Clocks Running, not Disney World.
Oh, okay.
I got some ears.
Hey, man, I just want to check in about this bet that you have with Coop and Chun. Are you losing right now, or what's going on with that?
I'm toast, man. I'm out. So the bet was best bracket overall. I needed Boise State. I needed Oregon to win. Both of them choked. Looks like by the time this is done, Georgia's going to choke. I'm all sorts of out. I think right now the best bracket's Chun's. Coop has a chance to tie. Because let's go ahead and just clear the air. On an ESPN bracket, correct me if I'm – do you do March Madness?
Yeah.
Okay. So if your team's still in, you can still get points correct, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Coop's still alive. Texas needs to beat Ohio State, and they would be tied. And if they go to a tie, then we go, I think, to the Sunday night game before we go to Tampa. We'll have this all figured out before we're in Tampa. But boy, this is bad. I'm in last place. I'm out. So
why don't you just have them pick final score of the championship game or something like that?
Well, the problem would be this has to be decided before we get to Tampa.
Oh,
yeah. So the only thing we'll have is a championship game.
Gotcha. So, okay. Well, that's cool, I guess. Sorry, I don't know.
I'm just not good at betting, I guess.
Yeah, stick to Prize Picks or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Is all gambling legal in North Carolina, or
it is? It is actually.
Oh,
so
nice.
You can. Well, let me rephrase that. All the online games are card games and stuff. You got to go onto the Native American reservations and stuff, to the casinos there. And otherwise, you have to. It's just online.
They don't have those boats that sail down the river. What are those that are in the river?
The river boats. They have those in South Carolina. They don't have those in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. That seems like. I feel like maybe the life that you lived growing up is similar to Ozark. Did you ever watch that show?
No. That was Jason Bates?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it. I heard it was good, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So I found this. I didn't realize this, but I guess the only thing you have to do to get on this show is to make fun of one of us on social media.
Or three.
So I want you to go ahead and introduce the guest for tonight, and let's get going.
Hey, listen. So my guy, he plays for the #1 team out on the West Coast in contact. All right, he's a pivotal member of that team. His meme-making abilities are A1. I give him an A+ for making the meme he did. Bring my man Quis onto the screen.
What's happening?
What's going on, bro?
Man, what up? I'm not even surprised that you got a can in your hand already.
Hey, it's just a monster. That's all it is.
Okay.
Hey, my man's at work.
I had a Newport, but I got to settle down.
Hey, man, so I appreciate you coming on. When we have a new guest on, we just want to give you the opportunity to kind of explain your origin story, what brought you into flag football, and what's brought you to the point today.
Well, I got into flag football when I dropped out of U of A. I had little ass bastards to take care of, so I dropped out of U of A, played for Coach Rodriguez in 2011, 2012. And I sat back at home for a while, and then y'all know who Jordan Harrison is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jordan Harrison is the one that told me, hey, man, since you ain't doing nothing, come out and play flag. I want to say that's about 2015, 2014, around there. And I came out and played flag, man. I had to get myself noticed and playing on sorry teams. And then, I started playing. I started traveling with 9-man a while back with Nomads when Todd McElmore. That's when he introduced me before anybody in Arizona started traveling a lot more. I was playing 9-man back then. So, yeah, and I just stick with New Dynasty, you know. We sucked for a while, but, you know, we clicking, and then we just going in every state and taking over.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it.
Whoa, that was a bold statement.
I said it.
So Jacob might have misspoke when he introduced you as the number one team in the West Coast, because I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when have you guys beaten the Bears?
You know what? Pool play, they beat us in where it matters. I'll give them that. The Bears beat us where it matters. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the Bears are like our brothers. We know who they are. You know, we played against them in 8-man out in Colorado. You know, they had to get 3 teams to beat one team, and that's when we were at AZ Union at the time. And they know Devin was the one guy he used to play with New Dynasty back in the day, and Tony, the running back. You know, so they know, we know how they play. They know how we play. But the Bears, I'll give them where the credit due. I'm not worried about the Bears. Fuck the Bears. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But they're cool, man. They're cool. All of them are cool. You know what I'm saying? There's no hate. It's just football talk. Fuck the Bears.
No, I used to play with a lot of those guys too, because I lived in Colorado. I played 8-man and 5-man with all those guys as well. You know, I had a lot of opportunities to match up against New Dynasty. I would tell you that it's funny with the line that you guys have, with you and DK and Ernie and a few other guys that you guys, you know, interchange out. One of two things happens during a game with New Dynasty in the trenches. Either somebody gets their feelings hurt, or people are having fun because of the stuff that's coming out of you guys' mouth.
Hey, it's our game, man. Like, our game is to shit talk to them. You know what I mean? Every team we go, they fuck themselves over in their own organization. You know, we know our players, we know our team, we know our management, we know how to get to people's minds. You know, me and DK have been in this for a while. You know, so it's having DK next to me is one of the best feelings because I don't get 2-on-1 anymore. You know what I mean? It's DK's my guy. He talks shit on the sideline. He talks shit during the game, and it gets in their feelings. When they play mad, that's when I use their anger against them and start tossing them around, smoking a Newport, telling them they suck. So it is what it is, you know. I like it, man.
He's just one of like the 5 people I've ever had to tell, like, hey, man, put the cigarette out while you're on the field.
Hey, it's a signature move. Everybody knows who I am, so I'll play with the cigarette. If you see me light up a cigarette during the game, that means they suck. They need to put another rotation.
Hey man, I got to bring this guy up. I think I brought him up a couple of weeks ago. Kevin, he used to be smoking Newports on the sideline, and then he'd run a go route and burn dudes. Now I don't know how you have cardio with smoking a pack of cigarettes like that.
It's a good feeling, man. We're warmed up, especially when you guys want to have these games in Tampa in January. It'd be cold over there, man. We Arizona bodies, so we need that Newport warming up our bodies, you know.
Man, I don't want to hear about Arizona, bro.
Why is
the
that?
second the sun goes down, man, it drops 30 degrees. It's
bipolar, bro.
Out there.
Arizona's a woman. It's a woman kind of state, man. It's bipolar over here.
Oh man, that's wild. Well, no, I appreciate what you guys bring to contact. You know, Jacob is somebody that's always going to say that the East Coast is the best. DMV, Camel City, this and that, all this stuff. But hey, I grew up on the West Coast, man, and I'm always I got respect for the Bears, for New Dynasty. Outside of that, though, there's not much going on. But I do want to bring up something to you. A conversation that I have with your quarterback. I think I talked to him in Vegas. You guys have a problem that has prevented you guys from winning some championships, and sometimes that has to do with who you guys have on your sideline when they come onto the field during a game.
Well, you know, since you want to do that, it's not even only that. Since what it is, our quarterback needs to man the fuck up. I'm gonna tell him that. He's probably watching. But there's no need to go fucking 20, 30 fucking yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, get first downs. 5 yards. He wants to do all these tricks, you know what I mean? But hey, either way, I trust my quarterback. Even there's 10 seconds left on the clock and we got to go down there, I'm going to trust him with it. But he needs to man up, that he needs to stop doing all that fancy shit and get his 5-6 yards and go up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all love with him, man. I'll have his back regardless of the situation. But fuck, man, you know what I'm saying?
He's an absolute problem, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just us. Like it's a bunch of egos. Like we lost the worlds due to ego over a fucking side bet. We know, we told him what was going on. You know, to the Bears. You know, we told him we know what's going on. We know what Devin does. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just ego. And about us in Phoenix, you know, we hotheads out here. So they need to learn how to like stop that, dog. You know what I mean? Just play the game like we used to. We take over the West Coast all the time. We almost took over Nashville, but you know, we don't have, I'm gonna say it, we don't have Jordan, our one receiver. We only have 2 receivers going out all the time doing drags and posts, and here goes Ant want to throw a fucking 50-yarder for no reason. So it is what it is. I wouldn't have nobody else but Ant, you know what I'm saying? He knows his play calls, he knows what he's doing. It's just the Eagles get in our way.
Time's gonna make him a lot better, man. He's gonna be an absolute monster in a few years at the top of the game. You know, he's already up there with a lot of greats in contact. You know, in non-contact, he's a problem too, but he's definitely well on his way.
Yeah, back then when I first started playing with him, don't get me wrong, I wanted to fuck him up. The way he talked, the way he was doing with his teammates, like he was a Mexican kid that act like a straight ignorant bastard. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Ant grew, man. Ant grew. You know, he grew a lot. He became tough. You know what I mean? I try to tell him, don't worry about these highlights. Don't worry about the film. There's always somebody's going to record us, man. Just play your game. But, you know, Ant came a long way, man. He's better.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
a lot better. He's coaching. You know, he's coaching the women's co-ed. He's coaching his own high school thing. So, and, you know, he has grew. Trust me, he has grew.
Yeah, I remember playing against y'all before Ant was playing quarterback. You guys were still kind of figuring out who was going to play quarterback, and then he came in. And you're right, man. He came in with like a gunslinger, and he didn't care. He was trying all these crazy things. And you got the thing with New Dynasty is at the end of the day, if you guys need to, you guys are just going to run a screenplay and just barrel up the field. And especially if you guys go against a team that's like not used to contact. Now, I'll go ahead and say it. In Southern California, we've had this conversation a little bit on social media. They think they have this thing called sixes contact, but it doesn't compare at all to what y'all are doing in Arizona.
I let California talk. I let them talk. You know what I'm saying? California, no hate to the state where I was raised in Riverside, but California, I don't even know her name. I don't know a team name out there. You know, they're irrelevant to me. I haven't came across and showed me. Maybe is it Super Soakers are from California?
No, they're Minnesota, right, Jacob?
Yeah,
they're Minnesota.
Then
they're tied up with Lazy Tribe.
Then who the fuck's from California? Like, who the fuck? Like, I want to know who. Like, if they think they're so fucking tough and big, we go to California. We went back to back in California, and they still haven't done nothing to us.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I let them talk. That non-contact is a little sissy lala game. They can have the non-contact game, because a non-contact to me is a bunch of skinny dudes running around showing how fast they are. Come to contact, brother. Anybody, like, I'm calling everybody out from California. Come to contact so I can slap the shit out of you with a Newport in my mouth. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. You know, a couple teams that maybe y'all have matched up against, but you're right. It hasn't been much competition. Bob Bombs Over Baghdad is one team. I think maybe that game though, there was Hennessy on every sideline, and I don't think anyone that played remembers that game.
Again, who the fuck is California, bro? Like, fuck. I see them online talking, but I don't know who they are.
That's 'cause they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Now, who you play
Yeah.
for with 6 jerseys?
Hey, you got a point. And at this point, y'all got kind of A and B team. You got sometimes you'll bring like in Vegas, you guys have New Dynasty, bigs and littles, or A and B, however you want to put it. Is that how you guys continue to build your team up? Is you have a second team, or you guys just kind of pluck people from different leagues and try to make an all-star squad?
So what it is on that situation, man, it's like everybody wants to play for us, and Nick wants to just expand New Dynasty. The B team, we got people from Tucson, which is 2 hours away from our city, and they come out and play with us. We do get a couple guys from Vegas if they want to come play with us. Like anybody that wants to play with us, we'll just throw them on the B team, see what they do. But
Makes sense.
honestly, I haven't heard anything about B team this year or what we're doing. They basically doing their own thing because I think they're realizing that they're not playing with us at all. It's just show out. They haven't showed out. They're putting our name New Dynasty in B. Anybody that beats New Dynasty B team, they think they beat us. I'm like, no, bro, you guys are playing our comp team.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I know DK was helping on the sideline coaching, and that was in Vegas, and that was just a mess trying to deal with him. But I'll go ahead and say it, just how you're calling people out. DK, do not coach. You are not a coach. You do not know what you're doing.
All right, so bring DK on next week. Got it.
You bring DK on, make sure you guys have the censor because he's gonna give a lot of shit talking.
Bullshit. That's what we have this logo for, brother. We don't need to censor anything.
All right, because DK don't hold back for nothing.
Oh, not at all. I don't expect him to.
All right, man. So I know, of course, you're going to predict the New Dynasty is going to have a sweep at Worlds, 5 and 6 contact, but you guys haven't won in Tampa yet. Am I correct in saying that?
Oh, you correct. We haven't won Worlds.
All right, so we're gonna have a little fun, a little bracketology with you. I know you're gonna pick New Dynasty to win it, but I want to see, right now they're doing the drafts, and so there's pool play games before you get to the bracket. But I just pulled the team list, 1 through 12, and I ranked them into a bracket, and I just want to pick. I want to see you pick who you think would win each game, and we'll have a little fun with that. You good with that?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right, cool. So 5's contact. Jacob will help you out also because he's got the team. He knows who plays. All right, so the first game we got 8-9 matchup. Fruition. They're from North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fruition, and then SMYTD.
So they're from Ohio. You know those guys?
God, that name sound. That team sounds very familiar, man. Just because it sounds familiar, I'm just gonna pick them.
Okay. All right, then we got Queen City Bulls going against the Bears. 12-5 matchup.
Damn.
You know
That's
what?
a good matchup.
Fuck the Bears, but I'm still going with the Bears on this one.
Okay.
if Artie is there, I'm going with the Bears because I know he got bad knee or his knee or something was going on, and Artie's a good ass player. Man, I don't knock on him or anything, but if Artie's there and he shows up and play, I'm gonna pick the Bears.
Yeah. Much respect to Artie. He was a teammate of mine, but he's had like 3 knee surgeries, and he definitely he's come through it for sure. So all right, cool.
He got a lineman that can block for him. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you gotta with him. I gotta learn his linemen. Us linemen we know how to be dirty without refs calling shit. So I gotta kind of pull his sweater or go underneath his neck to pick him up. He's a big guy. He's 6'5", 340 pounds. Like he's a big ass dude. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose Artie on that one. Respect to him with everything that's going on and his knee. It's gonna be Artie on that one.
All right, cool. Next up, we got Hard Target and Goodfellas.
Ooh.
Damn.
Damn. That was the championship last year, wasn't it? At the other tournament?
I think I'm
Oh,
gonna go with
maybe.
Goodfellas, man.
Goodfellas? Okay.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with Goodfellas.
damn.
All right. Then we got Free Smoke against it's LEM2, I guess is what it's called. I don't know what that is.
I don't know who that is.
I'm gonna go to LEM two with her because that nigga Dion on Free Smoke. I don't like scammers. I don't like niggas that take people's money and don't promise what he's gonna deliver. So
Oh,
I'm gonna go
damn.
with the other team. I'm gonna say what it is, man. Like I'm sorry, Dion, but at the same time, that's pay up, dog.
Damn.
All right. All right, cool. Now we go into the next round. We got YTG against SMYTV.
I'm gonna go to SMY, just because YTG. I hear about them all the time. I hear them about them. I never played against them. I never know who. I don't even know those guys or handshake them. But I heard they're good. But they avoid us. They avoid us. That's how I feel. They avoid us. I want the best of the best. So I'm gonna go with the other guy against YTG. I'm sorry, but that's how it is.
Okay. All right. Now we got the Bears against Super Soakers.
Oh, that one's tough. And the only reason I say it's tough because Super Soakers play with heart, and we always play them in the championship round. You know what? I'm gonna go with an underdog in the Super Soakers.
Okay. All right. Now we got Goodfellas against City Boy Monstars.
I'm gonna go with Monstars.
Okay. All right. So then it's y'all against this LEYM2, whatever that is. So we know who you're picking there. All right. Now
Nah,
we got
man.
to the semifinal game. SMYTDs against Super Soakers.
I'm gonna go with Super Soakers, man.
Okay. All right. So and then you're gonna beat Monstars. All right. So give me a
I
final
like that.
score.
I like
Wait,
that.
Give
You
me
already
a,
knew. You
hold on.
already knew.
Wait, Monstars are in pro?
yeah, fives contact pro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so give me a final score. Y'all against Super Soakers in fives contact.
Oh, damn, that one's. If they, what's that one dude with the hat backwards, the receiver from Super Soakers? I don't know. He's the only receiver that he look. I don't know if he's Mexican or not, but that dude is a beast. So with us and Super Soakers, and we shut him out, man, we're gonna win by fucking 40 to 20 something. 40 to 20 something. Because I know how Ant is. I'm gotta put points up. I gotta put points up. Nigga, it's only 1 minute left.
Oh man. All right, cool, man. Well, we're gonna do sixes real quick, so we're gonna run through it kind of rapid fire. VIP and Lazy Tribe.
Lazy tribe.
Okay. High voltage and Super Soakers.
My brothers, I'm going with Super Soakers.
All right. Uh, SP Savages and Goodfellas.
You know what? I'm not gonna be a hater. I'll go with Savages. Even though they talk a lot of shit over there and they run their mouth all the fucking time, I'm gonna go with Savages.
let me ask
I'll give them that.
let me ask you this before we move on. Do you think they're going to be better with a full squad, or do you think they'll be worse than what they were in Vegas when they played you guys in the championship? Because you remember they made a run with just 6 dudes.
Well, I think their linebacker. I forgot his name, but they got a linebacker that just tore his Achilles.
Oh shit.
If he don't play, they're gonna be sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they got a solid linebacker that he's good. I like the way he gave me a little hustle on the line because he is
Yeah.
strong, he can move. But all the other guys, they can kick rocks. But the middle linebacker, the quarterback, Savages, he's good. I like him. I like the how he is in the game. I like the way he plays. But I think they're gonna. If he don't go, I think they'll be worse. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Free Smoke against Team Clutch.
Fuck Free Smoke, but I'm gonna go with Free Smoke.
All right. So now we got Lazy Tribe going against Suicide Squad.
Is that Seven's crew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they can get the fuck on. Go back to Rick. I'm gonna go with Lazy Tribe.
All right. So you got another matchup with Super Soaker. So we know New Dynasty moving on. Savages against the Bears.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Bears, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Bears on that one.
All right, and then Free Smoke against Bob from Cali.
Free Smoke. Cali sucks on
Yep.
their flag team. They're only good at 8 men in Cali. Everything else, they suck.
All right, so Lazy Tribe. Yeah, y'all gonna be Lazy Tribe in sixes?
Yeah, bro, we're gonna beat them by 3 touchdowns. We don't even know who the quarterback is, but 3 touchdowns it is.
All right, and then we got the Bears against Free Smoke.
Ah, man, 2 guys. It depends, man. I'm gonna go. I'll go with the Bears.
Okay. All right. So what's the final score against the Bears in the sixes?
I guess you know what. Man, I think it's gonna be a close one. So I want to say about you know overtime, 37-30 probably, or somewhere up between 7 points overtime, 6 points.
Okay.
Free
All right.
Smoke's always
Cool.
in some bullshit. They argue with each other in ref, so that's what's gonna fuck them over.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, man, I would say I'd try to mic you up in Tampa, but there's too much action going on the line, man. That mic is going to get trashed.
They try to mic me a couple times on the line because again, you guys hear me. I call it all out. I call who I'm gonna let in free. I'll call out who I'm gonna guard, and that might be fucking me up because they be grabbing it, pulling it. So it's hard to put a lineman on a mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm definitely going to link up with you, man, and do some sideline interviews before and after a game. I appreciate you coming on, man, and joining us tonight. I know you got a lot going on.
No, thanks for having me, man. Y'all be safe. Hey,
Be good. We'll
Jacob,
see you. Yes, sir.
you're next on the meme, bro. So don't think I ain't
Hey,
gonna get you.
just be ready, bro.
I'm always ready, doggy.
Be good, brother. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, man. I'll see y'all. Y'all be safe.
You too, brother.
All right, you too, man. Later. All right. I honestly think he almost picked the Bears to beat New Dynasty in the championship.
He thought about it.
Oh
He
man.
thought about it.
I mean, I don't know, man. Both of those brackets, they're jam packed with talent. Like
Yeah, they are.
I'm excited for contact. I know that last year there were definitely some teams missing. I know your team is missing this year.
We're not even going to go down that road. We're not even going down that road.
You don't want to change your Instagram handle to Jacob the One?
No.
Because
I'm probably public enemy number 1 to a lot of those guys. We're not going down that road.
Well, they're mad because you don't play with them anymore.
No. Anyways.
Oh man, but no. Anyway, is there like of those matchups where you like, oh, this would be a perfect game to be able to see? Was there one that stuck out to you?
The fives contact matchups to start off with were pretty good.
Yeah.
I think who was it? Fruition. Show me your TDs. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know that I would pick the same way. Not even trying to be a homer, but just knowing the guys and knowing what I know. There's a couple others that maybe I don't know. We'll have to see. But I also didn't realize a couple of those teams were in pro, so it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, YTG is claiming they're going to sweep, every format they're in, and this is one of the formats they're in. So,
Yep.
If you got market quarterback, that puts you above,
Yep.
a lot of teams for sure.
For sure.
I haven't. I just speaking from what I've seen so far, I would compare kind of the layout of contact that there is in Ohio, a lot to what I saw in Colorado.
Okay.
I think there's one or two teams that can elevate to pro, but there's a lot of in the national level. There's a lot of rec teams here, and
Sure.
I feel like the same thing in Colorado, probably in California, in Southern California, because they just don't play contact. There's
Right.
not, so I think it's very similar. I think maybe that's besides Camel City and DMV. I mean, I think Jordan was pretty fair in his statement that he could take 8 teams from Camel City and compete anywhere.
I agree with that. I mean, and that's because these guys have proven that they can do that.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of a handful of guys have taken and formed their own team outside of their regular teams and gone to other areas, played, competed. Some have even won. And it's it just goes to show the talent that we have here. And I mean, that's not knocking anybody else. But it is to give a pat on the back to the guys that are here and that can get it done.
Yeah. Well, I think it's similar to when we had George and Pat on. George is somebody that he has been around fours so long, and his pocket of Florida, everybody was playing fours. It was all about fours, and so there's just a long history of playing fours. So you can just expect a team from Florida is probably going to be compete. A lot of teams are going to compete in fours because they just had it around forever. I think it's the same thing with contact with the DMV with Carolina.
Yeah, and I think the DMV has a bit of a more consistent history than we do here. Ours kind of not I won't say sputtered's not the right word, but it kind of rode a wave, and it's it's kind of evened out I think a little bit now. But yeah, I agree.
After this college football playoff, do you feel like maybe it's not a good idea to continue to associate with the SEC?
No, just because they suck doesn't mean we suck.
Okay,
again, historically, the SEC's been known as a powerhouse for college football. So the year the phrase got coined that Camel City's the SEC of 5 contact, it was a fair statement. And it doesn't ups downs all around. I mean, every year is not going to be this dominant. Not every year is not going to be the New England Patriots.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, and New Dynasty came on tonight. Quis made he made statements tonight, and so I know that they're hyped up. I know New Dynasty, they are hungry because they have not won in Tampa. And ultimately, I think that's the only thing they're missing. They've won nationals, they've won regionals, they have dominated throughout the West Coast, but they have not won in Tampa. So it'll be interesting to see. That being said, this is a jam-packed show, and we have a second guest coming on tonight. Jacob, you want to go ahead and introduce our next guest?
All right, we'll bring in our next guest. He's become a very pivotal point of social media for officials. He has no problem letting you know what he thinks, when he thinks it, how he thinks it. But welcome to my man TJ. Welcome, buddy.
Oh man, there we go.
What's going on, guys? How about them Irish?
What's wrong with your head?
What's a lot?
I don't know.
This is why we don't do the backgrounds.
A lot.
Is that a space? Are you wearing a spacesuit? What is that you're wearing?
Half of your head is missing. He's wearing is that a hockey jersey?
No, it's a hoodie.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a hoodie. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, man. What's going on, bro?
Welcome to the show. Can you turn that?
I had to put touchdown Jesus in the background too.
I don't know who that is, but can you turn that off? Can you turn that off?
I can.
Little man. Trust me.
It hurts the video doing that.
I can turn it off for you guys.
Lance is about the only one who's perfected the fake living room, and even then, I still don't feel confident in his living room being fake.
Yeah, because honestly, I do think that is his grand piano. So.
It is his grand piano.
But there we go. All right, now
look at that. That's much gooder.
What is that? A Mahomes jersey? What else you got hanging up?
I got a Mahomes jersey. There's a DK jersey over there. There's an Ovechkin
DK
jersey.
from New Dynasty?
No, not that DK. That DK jersey can go. Never mind. He'll probably beat me up. There's a Lucky Whitehead jersey over here because Lucky Whitehead is actually from my area. He signed a jersey, sent it to me, everything. So
That's
there's
cool.
a couple more in the
Okay.
house or in the room.
Cool.
So,
All right, man. Well, just like we have every guest share their origin story, we want to give you the opportunity to just kind of talk about what brought you into flag football and what's brought you to this place today. So have at it, man.
So I actually didn't know flag football, really anything about flag football, even growing up. I was in the military for 3 years, from 2016 to 2018. I actually blew out my knee in the military, and that's what stopped my service. And when I came back, one of my best friends, his name's Justice, he was like, "Hey, I've always known you as an athlete. I play flag football on Sunday mornings. You should come out." Sunday mornings was actually super competitive for 8 co-ed, at least in my local league. And Rock from Virginia Elite, his team also played on Sunday mornings. And so that's where I met him. And so I just kept playing Sunday mornings, kept branching out to like Tuesday nights, Thursday nights. Then they would say that they actually needed refs. So I would start refing in the local league and whatnot. And then Rock is actually one of the ones who brought me onto a local tournament that was happening in the DMV area. And that's really where I started to then ref, tournaments. Because I never knew that there was really this whole big ordeal of flag football outside of just like the local leagues that you play in and everything. And somebody asked me that same year, they're like, "Are you going to or are you going to, what was it, Panama City?" Because I think it was 2021 at the time. So they were like, "Are
January
you going to
21.
Panama City?" And I was like, "No, it's in Panama City." And they're like, "It's a huge tournament." And then I linked in with you, and I've been refing in Tampa since 2022 Worlds. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. And you play quarterback? Is that
So I actually started out as a receiver, but we didn't have a quarterback, and I have a baseball background, and so they asked me to go play quarterback, and so I did. But then we had no receivers, so I actually had a quarterback come play, so I could go back to playing receiver, and then that's just how our team started. So
got you? You still actively playing or just kind of local leagues or what does that look like for you?
So I don't play football flag anymore. I ref flag. I'm actually playing more slow pitch softball now. So I've gotten into the tournament scene and all that for slow pitch softball now.
Taking on the old
Okay.
man route. I like it.
Exactly. Not to do as much.
There you go. So speaking of Tampa, what are you excited about for what this big tournament in 12 days? What are
Man,
you most excited about?
every single year, the vibe has just only increased. Whether it's the people around, the stage, all the vendors, everything, there's always something that increases um, the experience. And so just everything that's going to go on there with now the what is it, the CBS or whatever that's coming to do their whole production. Um, Nike's going to be on site. There's going to be the Guinness World Records is going to be there. It's just going to be a whole different. It's going to be a different experience than we're used to, but it's going to be a much better experience in my opinion. So I'm just looking forward to that. And plus, there's a lot of good teams in all the pro formats this year. So it's going to be a lot of good games to ref.
Okay. So that was a real generic answer, and but
Man,
I feel like I just read this. I just heard you read the Facebook social media post about
man,
Tampa.
it's seeing you guys, of course. That's what it's going to be.
You,
That's the best.
DJ, what are you personally excited about? You personally, man.
Man, so I'm not going to lie to you. If So Icy is there, that is what I'm looking forward to because I've never had So Icy's food truck before. And I've heard that the cheesesteak is actually really freaking good.
It is.
So I'm actually looking forward to trying that. Not gonna lie to
You better have the bathroom ready to go though.
Man,
It's
with how much
good,
you have
but
to
it's
move,
greasy.
probably not.
It's good. It's really good.
But yeah, I've never had it, so that's something to look forward to for sure.
Okay, cool.
Shout out Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce, and I'm gonna have a container of cream cheese ready for anybody that wants to try the cheesecake the right way.
Nobody wants to try that. Nobody. We've already done that, and we've already proven that it sounds disgusting, and it is disgusting.
For
I don't know
sure.
why we got to
Man,
keep going back to this.
It's crazy because the dude that runs Barstool, he does not eat a cold pizza when he decides the ranking that he's given for a pizza. He doesn't want to do that. He wants it
Really?
piping hot.
Oh my God. Well, last time I checked, this is Clocks Running, not Barstool One Bite Challenge.
No sir.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I just feel like I have a little bit of experience because I worked at a Philly cheesesteak place for 3 years, bro.
Okay, all right.
Man, so
I worked at Domino's Pizza for a few years. Does that make me have experience too?
yeah.
No.
Man.
Did you really work at Domino's for 3 years?
Yeah, dude. I was the general manager of 2 Domino's pizzas.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
That's a story for a different day, huh?
Huh?
Story for a different day.
Yeah.
All right, TJ, I got some phrases that I'm going to throw at you. I'm going to give you the opportunity to explain, kind of like expand what this phrase is. These are phrases that players say all the time. You go ahead and say it from a player's perspective, what they're talking about, and then I'm going to have Jacob explain the actual what does the rule book say?
Oh,
What is the correct way? Oh, am I putting you guys on the spot? Are you guys cool?
No, I got the rule book right here. I'm good.
Okay, cool.
On the spot.
All right, TJ. First one. It's contact.
It's contact.
So what does that mean? When players say that, what do they mean by that?
Man, they mean stop being weak, get your ass up, play football.
Okay. All right. So Jacob, how different is the rule book from contact to non-contact when it comes to just in flag football?
I thought I had more time. All right. So our good old rule book says judgment of official: a player uses enough force to knock another to the ground by pulling, tripping, bear hugging, charging, sweeping, flinging, shoving, bodying up, etc. Whether or not the player goes to the ground is irrelevant. So I mean, it's all in the judgment of the official, right? You can't just slam somebody to the ground, put your shoulder into somebody, and run through them, offense or defense, and it be okay. This is still flag football. This is not tackle football. So whether they say this is contact, non-contact, screen, rough touch, tackle, well, obviously tackle's not part of that, but any form of flag, that's not okay.
Yeah, because that's in the general rules, right? That's not specific to non-contact.
That's rule number 10.
There you go. Okay, cool. TJ, next one. You can body up somebody.
We just went over this.
You can buy.
I'm sorry.
It's the same thing. It's
What is the body? What is the body up though? What does that look like from a player's perspective?
I can't really show that. No, but it's like going in to make a flag pool. You can't put your shoulder into somebody's chest, or you can't, over aggressively, how do I explain it? Just basically you have to make the attempt for the flag without contact. That's really what the game is you have to pull the flag without even minimal contact. Like Jacob said, it's in the discretion of the referee, but anything overly aggressive, bodying up, bear hugging, picking somebody up, shoulder into them, so on and so forth. That's my definition of what bodying up is.
So, Jacob, do you think that there's any area, like kind of gray area, that gets created with the term bodying up somebody when you're pulling the flag? What does that look like to you as
Absolutely.
far as the gray area?
I mean, I'm looking. The first thing I'm looking for is hands up or hands on somebody, right? If your hands are the first thing on you, then I'm gonna you got a little wiggle room, right? If I put my hands on you and I just drive you straight into the ground, that's a little bit different. But if I'm just lunging at you, I'm just putting my shoulder into you, and then I'm coming in with my hands. That's not legal. You got to have your hands there first.
Okay, so that's really kind of, I would say, a lot of the clips that I've showed where I'm saying, hey, this is not body, this is not legal. This is
Right.
bodying up all this stuff. All of those are leading with their shoulders.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is what would change that and make it legal, even if some contact happens, is if they're leading with their hands.
Correct.
Am I correct
You lead with your hands. You're taking away a ton of a ton of the collision, right?
A ton of the force during the play.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Whatever, TJ. You don't have to correct me. but TJ's right. You're taking away a lot of the unnecessary force by putting your hands on somebody first. And that's usually why you see that gray area and what's
Right.
legal and what's not.
Okay. All right, cool. Next one, TJ, the sideline rule. What are players talking about when they say that?
The sideline rule depends on which way.
Jeez.
What sideline rule are you talking about in a sense? Because there's two.
Could you just quit choking all over the place?
Tell me both. What are the two sideline rules?
There's the sideline rule that I know of, which is if you're a player on the sideline not participating in the play. But then there's also the sideline rule that if you come on the field during the play to try to pull somebody's flag, it could be completely different from what you're asking.
All right, so I'm talking about if a player is running down the sideline.
How are they running?
They're just like this.
Okay, just want to see.
Just moving right along. No, that's too fast.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. That looks bad. That looks so bad. Don't do that. Oh my god. No, sir.
I just watched the interview last night for the first time.
Oh man, it's so good. It's instant classic. Oh man.
Anyway,
Oh
so I'm running down the sideline full speed. And what is the player mindset that player is running down the sideline? You can do what?
If the player is running down the sideline?
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, TJ, I'm on offense.
Correct.
I'm the ball carrier.
Correct.
You are the defender.
Okay.
What are you going to do to stop me from scoring a touchdown?
I mean, I'm going to beat you to the spot and hopefully pull your flag.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm putting my hands at your waist and I'm shoving you out of bounds. You're not going to keep going.
And if you do that, then I'm going to throw a flag.
But what if it says pushing out on the sidelines is not permitted unless the defense was making a fair, legal, and reasonable attempt to pull the ball carrier's flags?
And again,
i.e. let me finish my sentence. i.e. the defender's hands were aimed low at the ball carrier's hips and flags and not high up on the body.
Okay, so if they push them out of bounds and it is at the waist to where they are making a legitimate attempt, we're going to play ball. If they're not making a legitimate attempt at the flag, we're going to look at what the excess of the penalty was. Was it egregious? Was it just a push to get them out of bounds to where it's illegal contact? Is it unnecessary roughness? So on and so forth. There's a lot of factors that can go into that, in my opinion.
But what happens if I take all right, let's say I
like about the clip that you did with Jo today?
A couple days ago, yeah.
I mean, I would throw that for unnecessary roughness.
I think it's all about how you do it. So let's say difference between TJ, you and him. You got a little bit more weight on you. Not trying to be funny. I do that. You're at what?
220.
Oh, okay. Well, if I do that to you,
hold on. I'm at 250, bro.
you're not.
I am.
215
What?
or 250?
What are you trying to catch me?
Apologize to me. What?
Not you,
That's what I'm
TJ.
saying.
Talking about Ant.
Rewind. No. You said TJ. No offense. You have more weight than that.
Then J.O.
Yeah, way to catch up on that. Yeah, way to catch up.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Clarification.
Yeah, because guess if I hit you on the sidelines, you're gonna probably take a step to the side and keep running, but you're gonna be out of bounds. If I do that to Jo, I'm gonna toss him
50 yards.
Right. And it's not trying to be funny. It's just the way gravity works.
Yeah. So okay. So speaking of that, are you saying that the weight or the size of a player matters when an official decides that they're going to throw a flag or not?
No.
I don't.
Okay.
I think what should matter is what the attempt is, I mean, there's got to be some legitimacy there for them to actually be trying to go for a flag.
Use
there's
your
a
brain
difference
when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, little common sense goes a long way.
Like I might be running to pull a flag, and we're cool. Jacob might be running, and his belly hits somebody.
Oh, okay.
It's just how it goes.
Wow.
Catching strays. Here we go.
It's just how it goes.
Crazy.
So,
I mean, everybody has a belly, Jacob.
But see, if the belly hits first, then what's the belly? So
well,
if the belly hits first, are we clean or what?
I mean,
what? If the belly hits first, is it? And then the flag pulls.
First they're running, now the belly. What's happening?
Where's the belly hitting?
Yeah, where's the belly hitting at,
side.
TJ? Side of what?
If you're going to make a flag pull and the belly hits before the hands do, then first off, it's a bad flag pull. But second, what's the call?
Who leads with their hips like that?
Who's running?
The same person that was running just like you did.
Oh man!
Oh my God! DJ, we gotta have a conversation after this show.
Phone's on do not disturb. Sorry.
All right. Okay. So hey, and just so everyone's clear, in that clip, the flag that there was a flag thrown by the official that was right there. She threw illegal contact. Let's just call it. The other, if you watch the rest of the video, the head official comes down to the sideline, looks at her, says, "What do you got?" They talk about it. They both agree that it was the last player, and they call touchdown.
Yep.
So, and Jacob, that's the process you want, right?
Absolutely.
Is that you want the entire crew to talk before a last player is determined.
Every official should be in agreement that you have last man, that nobody else had an opportunity.
For sure.
Yeah. And what is this about this weird, it has to be within 5 yards? What's that about, Jacob?
There's nothing about that. It's the last line to gain. So if they cross midfield and there's no defender, no other defender, and defender excessively holds, tackles, does something like that causes to be the only thing preventing that runner from scoring, you can award last man. So if we're in sevens on the legacy fields, if we're inside the 20, that last line zone to gain, you can award it. If we're on a small field out across midfield, you can award it.
Why do you think in that situation, why is this so important for the entire crew to agree on it?
Because you should have all parts, everyone's going to see something from a different angle. Somebody could see that a defender would have an opportunity to come and potentially pull a flag or something like that. So you want to make sure that all angles are covered in that.
Gotcha.
So there's nothing without a doubt.
So is that's getting updated in the USA flag rule book, right? Like the enforcement chart.
What do you mean?
Like, has that been, because the booklet that we got last year at Worlds, it said inside the 5.
It shouldn't, but right here,
I could have swore it did. I might be wrong, but I could have swore it said inside the 5.
In the rule book, that big book that we have online, to invoke this rule, we require there must be total agreement of all game officials. First thing it says, spirit of unfair acts rule. Officials have discretion to award a zone if a flagrant foul occurred inside. That reads weird. Inside the final line zone to gain. But it also says you can award a touchdown. So you have the opportunity if it happens outside of midfield or outside of that final line zone to gain. I think it just reads real little funny.
Yeah, because in the booklet that you had sent me or the screenshot, it says in the on the bottom, it says last man rule, 15 or touchdown, spot of the foul, first down or touchdown, but then it has in the parentheses next to touchdown the 5. So that's why when I made my comment on the post, it was stating that it was last man because it was inside the 5.
And I think that might be.
You see what I'm saying?
It just says 5. It doesn't say inside the 5 or anything like that.
See, but that 5 would, to me, means touchdown inside the 5.
That can be interpreted a different way. I can see that.
Yeah. So that's why I was curious if it would get, when the enforcements get posted back online, if that would be clarified.
And they are online.
I just pulled it up. It's not there.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's like an extra download.
It's a little
is it an extra?
at the top. Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta have the
download penalty charts. I see it now. Cool. Yeah, because it still has the parentheses, the 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I think probably where that comes from, I think that is something that maybe, just like we talked about player miss or whatever, I think that's a scenario where in small ball, it's really hard to have a last man that's at midfield because it's easy for, these guys in pro, they're so fast.
Mm-hmm.
It gets, tricky to be able to like, oh yeah, there's no way a defender could make up that 10 yards. That situation. So I think maybe that's where that comes from or whatever. But okay, so next up, TJ, what are players talking about when they're saying that if you dip or jump, you give yourself up?
Oh, they're saying that because you dip or jump, I have the absolute right to just take you out. It's your fault, for dipping. It's your fault for jumping. You change your levels, I'm still gonna I'm gonna make you pay for it, is what they're meaning in that case.
All right. So Jacob, in any form of flag football, is that allowed?
Where's that in any form or fashion of any rule book?
I don't see it.
Damn, don't call them out like that. It's not in any it's not in any rule book. It's in nobody's rule book.
No, it's in nobody's rule book.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good old player myth.
Yeah, for sure. And that one, and I think the next few that I'm going to mention, I believe, and I'm not saying all players, because there are definitely players that they want it to be clean, they want it to be safe, they're not doing crazy stuff, they might talk a little trash here and there, but some of the terms or the phrases that players are saying, it's almost like they're trying to dictate to the officials how they want the game to be played.
Absolutely.
So when they say something like "you're giving yourself up" or "hey, it's pro, let us play," like,
in all honesty, it's pro. You should be the ones that know how to play without doing these extra aggressive, player myth type things. You should be the one that's able to play without making the overly aggressive, contact. You should be able to make the flag pull without taking somebody to the ground with you, so on and so forth. And that's just my opinion about it. You're the pro level team. You're the most experienced. You're the most skilled. Why should you get the benefit of the most contact and so on and so forth?
Yeah, Jacob, like, what do those two paths look like in your eyes as far as, okay, this is pro, and we're expecting, we're expecting them to understand the rules, to know the rules, and to keep this game safe, played at the highest level, or this is pro, and we're going to just let them play, and we're going to let them dictate the physicality of this game. What do those two paths look like?
I don't think we let them dictate anything. I think we have a rule book that dictates everything. So we call the game by what the rule book says. You do the best you can with your judgments, and you enforce everything that you would normally enforce for a rec game. You call it the same as you would in novice as you would in pro.
Okay, yeah, and the last one that I've heard, and hey, shout out to Law because he's been saying it everywhere on social media,
There we go.
is that in Tampa at Worlds, people just get to do whatever they want, and like he's not saying that, but he's literally saying in Tampa you can be this physical. In Tampa, you can body somebody up. In Tampa, you can essentially tackle somebody and you're gonna get away with it.
From the player
Um,
side, from the player side, I can see that as being interpreted as like, listen, we're here at Worlds. This is the biggest event that USA Flag puts on throughout the entire year. The refs aren't going to want to dictate the outcome of the game. They're going to let you play and dictate the outcome of the game. That's what I think when I hear that, they're going to let you do whatever you want, or however Law said what he said. But as officials, we can't let that happen. We have to still make sure that the game is being called clean, the game is being called fair, and it's being called by the rules.
Jacob, thoughts on that?
I think you covered everything. I think you still, it doesn't matter what stage you're on, whether you're doing a pool play game in novice or you're doing the pro championship game. You've got to call it the exact same.
And I'll say this, the speed of the game is different.
Oh, sure.
For some reason, when you get to Worlds, it's the biggest stage. So the speed that people might have at the Vegas tournament is going to be a completely different speed of the game as they will here in Tampa. So don't let that fool you when it comes to how you call the game either, because that'll also play a factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, from my opinion, from my viewpoint, I just feel like the pro players, and ultimately, I mean, pro is pro because these aren't, these aren't pro teams, but they play in the pro level. Um, all of them want to be on the national team,
For sure.
or they've played on the national team, and so if the goal is that. Um, I feel like USA Flag is doing an amazing thing right now this year with having CBS there, and the five women's and men's games are going to be televised the championship. I have seen some non-contact games over the last few years, from whether it was playing or officiating championship games, where the games were out of control, and the hits and the trash talk and people on the sidelines saying stuff to players on the field, all of those things for the game and the growth of flag football. We do not want that to be what is presented on CBS.
Absolutely.
We do not want that to be what's presented in the Olympics. That this is just a game where it's basically tackle football without all the pads and all the safety. And I think that's where it gets dangerous to say, okay, the player's mentality is, oh, we're in Tampa, this is pro, it's the playoffs, let us play, and they make those statements. It gets dangerous, and I think that's leading the game of flag football in the wrong direction.
And I mean, and I agree. And the thing is yes, there's a stage that you want to make, and that's fine. Make a statement. You'll make more of a statement playing the right way than playing in an aggressive way, in my opinion. If you play, shoulder first every play, if you play and your goal is to just hit, and if you're not playing 5 contact, 6 contact, 8 contact, there's no reason to hit, in my opinion. And so you're going to make more of a factor playing by the rules, playing clean, playing quick, playing fast, doing that kind of stuff. Trash talk's fine. If you keep trash talk football, to me, that's fine. Keep it football. Keep it to a minimum. There's a certain level. Once you cross it, all right, hey, listen, no, you're just going to talk to your own team now. But you're going to make more of an impact playing the right way than you are a physical way. And there's a way to be physical without making contact. It's just how it is.
Jacob, thoughts?
No, I mean, I think it's simple. You just play your game, do things the right way. I think CBS. I think the hype for that. I think it's going to be a lot like the NFL. You're not going to hear a lot of these guys on the field from the camera. I think they're not going to have the sound on where you can hear any of the trash talk or anything like that. Maybe you can hear a little bit, but I doubt it.
It just depends on where everything's set up.
Yeah. So I think the nice thing is this will display and showcase what flag football has to offer, but it can go one of two ways. So we'll see what ends up happening. No, I'm excited for it. I think hopefully it'll clean the game up a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I've been somebody that's been an advocate for women's flag football, and I'm always saying that I think that they understand the game better. They're smarter when it comes to flag football. I just think as far as physicality goes, TJ, you brought it up. I think there's a way to be physical without hurting somebody, without without getting dirty, with being, playing within the rule book,
Right.
and not getting out of hand. I think women's flag football is a really good example of it. Is that they understand how to do that.
Absolutely. And I think that the game there, it's more, and I say this in a way, I'm going to just say it. There's more IQ, in my opinion, in the women's game. And to me, a lot of the men try to use the speed that they have and the height that they have to their advantage. You got, how tall is Laval? Laval is a huge target. Jay High, big target when it comes to the U.S. men's national team, right? But the women are all around the same height for the most part. A lot of their stuff is IQ and scheme and being able to work to get open and being in the right places to pull flags and stuff like that. So to me, I think the women's game is the model for how flag football should be played.
Yeah, Jacob.
No, I mean
Anything?
I don't disagree with that. I think there's I think the women's game, it's a lot cleaner. It's definitely a lot cleaner.
Sure.
IQ's hit or miss, and unfortunately I blame that on the men that are involved in it as well. Because you have guys who are not good players who think they're better coaches, and they're definitely not.
And they just want to ride to Tampa in the ring. That's it.
Well, of course, and half of them won't even get it. So
More than half.
almost all of them, all but one, because you only have one winner.
What is it? Like 13 divisions though, so 13 of them will win, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, but that's the thing, and you made the point. A lot of the men that do coach, there are men that can come in there and coach a women's game. There are, but when you have men who go in and try to change how the women's play and try to make it to how they would play as men on a men's field, a lot of times it doesn't translate
at all.
A lot of the times it doesn't translate because you're trying to get them to do again what you would do on a men's field, and it just doesn't translate that way.
Yep.
No, and I agree with that. I worry about some of the with high school girls flag football, that some of the old timers of they all they did was play eighth contact, and now they want to pass it on to the next generation, and they're passing the wrong kind of mentality onto girls flag football in high school. So I worry about that it's like, well, we don't want that mentality. We want it to be where closer to what is going to be for these girls to be able to college scholarships, to be able to make something out of flag football. NIL deals. Like, there's so many opportunities that are now being created out of flag football that those old timers never had a chance at. So.
And you gotta think the Olympics are still 3.5 years away. So there's a lot of kids who are literally freshmen, sophomore in high school right now that could potentially compete for the Olympic team, whether it's men's or women's. So the development from the youth to the adult stage is critical, especially with this now becoming an Olympic sport, to be able to transition the game and pass it down the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, TJ, I just have one question for you before we let you go. Who is your GOAT of flag football?
Men's or women's?
That's not what he asked.
That's not what I asked. This is not me ask a question, you ask a question.
Man, again, I've only been around flag football for the last 3 years, tournament wise and stuff like that. It's hard for me seeing what I've seen out of V to go against V. With how much I've ref V in the last 3 years, it's hard to choose against V, just from what I've been able to see and stuff like that.
Okay, fair enough. That's all I got, man. I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate
and
it.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see you in like 12 days.
In a couple weeks, man. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
man.
Can't wait. Y'all take care. Go Irish. Go Commanders.
All right, get him off the screen. Be good, man.
All
right. Oh man, that's like a long time coming. He's definitely wanted to come on the show, so it's good to have him on before Tampa.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
Cool. Well, Jacob, I just wanted to cover those, all those phrases. It's been interesting. It's been an experience to be able to not only like collaborate with Flag Beast. He does an amazing job of just recording games and getting the right angles and all this stuff. And so me and him were having a conversation one day, and he said, "Look, man, look on my YouTube and there's lots of stuff you can find." Yeah. And just being able to go through different games, whether it's men's, women's, pro, whatever it is, and just being able to find things to break down. My hope is that not only players but officials are, starting to watch these and say, "Oh, okay, here's a live ball scenario, right. And I can see the rule and I can see the scenario and I can put it together now." Because we've talked about it where on the job training is really how officials grow. Well, maybe this, can be a social media type of training for officials and players because they don't read the rule book.
Who doesn't read? Oh man, yeah. I think the biggest takeaway is these videos. With these videos is the fact that it's getting people talking and it's getting people saying the right thing and listening to the opinions of those who know what they're talking about, and those who don't know what they're talking about, it's pointing them out really quickly. So I think there's a ton of benefits from that. Keep watching them, keep giving opinions on them. It's a great tool to use.
Yeah. And then you see very clearly like the guys that only play eighth contact in the Northeast, like everything for them is completely
good tackle, get up.
It's football. And then I don't know if you saw it, but randomly some guy from El Paso just happened to jump on and make some comments to Jo, and basically like, "Hey, you're soft. I don't know who you are. You're a nobody." And like,
"Hey man, good for you, brother."
It was a good little on a Sunday night entertainment because it just that turned into a whole other spiel. But outside of that, it's been a lot of fun, and I think everyone's kept it pretty positive. So that being said, man, this has been a fun show tonight.
Absolutely.
You have any final thoughts? Let me be more specific because TJ gave the generic, but Jacob, specifically you, what are you looking forward to in Tampa?
Man, I'm just honestly, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm anxious. I'm ready for it to get here. I'm ready to interact with we have a lot of different countries being represented, not just on the teams and the player side, but on the official side. So I'm really excited. We've kind of dabbled in it a little bit. We've had an official from Serbia come a couple of years ago. We've had somebody from Sweden come a couple of years ago. We've had a couple of guys from Mexico come up. This year we've got Canada, Mexico, Serbia. Oh gosh, I have to go through the whole list. I'm leaving people out, and I don't mean to. But
Cayman Islands, bro. Cayman Islands.
Oh my gosh. I don't even count him as the Cayman Islands, man. As much as he talks to us, you know. But
he just lives in South Miami. Let's just put it that way.
Right. He's just south of the Keys. But yeah, I mean, like, we have so many countries represented. It's so interesting to see the cultures and how people view things and how, you know, how their dynamics and how they're going to interact with folks. So that's probably what I'm most excited about, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I'm in the same boat as you, man. I'm just ready for it to be here. You know, me and my daughter we've been planning things out, you know, testing out the equipment. We're excited to, we just want to present, you know, what Clocks Running is, right? It's the perspective from the officials. So we want to take 5 days full of content and just be able to present what the officials are seeing in Tampa and what that looks like. So that's our goal, and we're excited to do it and just be a part of this big event. For sure.
Absolutely. I'm excited, man. I think this is going to be a really good time. I think it's, you know, it's a lot of opportunity, right? It's an opportunity for the players to come out and show that they're the best right now, and to wrap up a really, really great year of football. For the officials, it's another opportunity to come together and work with some great crews and put some, you know, put it all out there and have a great time. You know, and that goes for the directors as well. You know, we really enjoy our time there. We really work hard to put on a great event, and, you know, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, that being said, I just want to remind everybody, this is the best place to watch and listen to this podcast. It's here on YouTube. Get on there, subscribe so you get alerts as soon as it's posted. We usually do Thursday nights, but, you know, sometimes we end up with a Monday morning episode, or, you know, some strange things like that. So if you're subscribed, though, you get a notification. So go on to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We're all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok for the next couple weeks, I guess, until it's illegal.
Look, man, it should be greenlit. It's January 2nd. We're all still alive. The microchips from our COVID shots haven't kicked in, so we're good to go. I'm not going to go any further with that because I don't want this show to get political, and it's not going to get political. So we're just going to leave that alone.
Not to bring back to this movie, but I was like, when I was watching the interview, I was like, how did this even get like broadcast anywhere? Like,
dude, that was the first and only movie I've ever bought off of YouTube. I was so excited for that movie to come out. I bought it, and 3 days later, they're like, "Oh, well, we can't charge for it anymore, so it's free." And I was so disappointed. I was like, I'm never paying for another movie online again. I was so disappointed.
That's funny. So yeah. Anyway, and then we are everywhere you want to listen to a podcast. You can find us any platform available. And like I said, we are going to be live on the sidelines, in game, micing people up, taking pictures. Look for me and my daughter because we're going to want to take selfies with you. We're going to have a lot of fun in Tampa, 5 days full of content. So that being said, Jacob, I can't wait to see you, man.
It's going to be such a good time, brother.
You know, I'm excited to get on the golf cart with you.
I ain't riding a shopping cart around.
We could do it. You could get in it and I could like push you off the curb kind of thing. Like
no,
Johnny Knoxville style. Well, I'm excited to get a shopping cart in Tampa, get some cream cheese, man.
Pause. Good Lord. Oh my God! You said you were excited to get some cream cheese and left it at that. Pause.
I love cream. I didn't say cream pie. I said cream cheese.
Whoa, man! This is even Jordan wouldn't say something like that.
Don't say this is a family show.
It's not.
Certainly not.
I stopped short of saying that, but I said even he wouldn't say that.
All right, man. We better get off of here before we get canceled.
We're getting close.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Hey, you too, man.
All right.